So I've spoken before on this show about my appreciation for The Greasy Strangler, which is by the same director, Jim Hosking. And it's very much the same world, which I would describe as kind of a John Waters early low-budget film, so choppy and confrontational and uncomfortable, but with the sinister mundanity that was popularized by Twin Peaks, because, John Waters' film is very joyous and celebratory, but this film here and The Greasy Strangler is more about anxiety. He creates these very anxious worlds in which no person in them has any social skills whatsoever. And so I think they become manifestations of how we worry that we act in social situations. When you're falling asleep and you're just thinking, oh God, why did I do that? I'm such a monster. Like, the characters are a representation of that worry. And I think this film plays more into that than The Greasy Strangler did, which was more just about being as gross as possible.
Sorry, maybe there's something I just misunderstood. When you're falling asleep and you think, why did I do that?
When you're falling asleep and you're remembering something you did that day and
I
how
see.
awkwardly you acted.
Right, I thought something that you were doing at the time.
Oh, no.
Oh, sorry, okay.
Sorry, I
Let's
thought
clarify.
that situation would be immediately familiar to everyone. The falling asleep moment and going, I'm such
Earlier
a
on
monster.
today, I was such a silly thing. That kind of.
Yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry. Beg your pardon.
Yes, I'm sorry, because I'm such an anxious person that's like an everyday routine. But, so it plays into that more than The Greasy Strangler, and it just creates these outsider characters. You have Lulu, played by Aubrey Plaza, who escapes her miserable life with her cousin's cash box and a hired gunman, Colin, played by Jermaine Clement, and she's trying to go to the Morehouse Hotel to attend this evening with Beverly Luff Linn, which she explains here.
Listen, there's an event tomorrow night at the hotel. We're going to it, okay?
An event?
Do you remember the man in the plaid hat from the large man-shaped poster near the hotel reception?
Mr. Beverly. Beverly's a woman's name.
No, I don't think so.
It is. It's a Scottish woman's name.
Beverly is a man's name.
It's a very feminine name.
No, it isn't, Colin. It's a very masculine name.
I went to school with a girl called Beverly.
No, Colin. Beverly is a man's name.
Beverly's a woman's name.
No, Colin. Beverly is a man's name.
Okay. Oh my goodness. This is so indulgent. I'm gonna need to do some exercise after this.
Can you please wipe your mouth? That's absolutely disgusting.
That horrible sound you hear at the end are cheesy onion rings, just to clarify. And so she still pines after this Beverly Luff Linn, after we learn that they have a little bit of a history together. And so the performances here are all very deliberately stilted. It's almost the imitation of bad acting. And in The Greasy Strangler, it was populated mainly by either kind of unknown actors or non-actors. But here, because Jim Hosking has had, more resources, a greater reach, he has collected together all the greats of deadpan comedy. So Aubrey Plaza and Jermaine Clement and Craig Robertson and Matt Berry and Maria Bamford. And so all of that deadpan is essentially the representation of squishing all your emotions down as far as you can. And then occasionally in this film, those emotions suddenly burst out and they come out in these weird bursts of anger over something so trivial, which I think tends to be what happens when you are very emotionally stilted. You start yelling about the remote control or something. So I think this film understands awkwardness and social anxiety very well in that way. And what I really enjoyed as well is the idea that the awkwardness extends even into the production design, because there are all these weird details. There'll be a spaghetti dinner with a fist-sized meatball. There'll be a spray foam cappuccino. There's a magazine called Horse Fun. There are these odd little quirks in the script where certain words will just be pluralized for no reason, like men's with guns and twins' beds. And so this film is just a complete act of world building. And so I think I really enjoyed it, but I want to put that in the context that I am part of the very niche target audience that ever had a hope of being receptive to this film. So I would say, yes, I enjoyed it, but if you watch it and you hate it, I don't want to be responsible.
You could say that about every review you ever do, surely.
Yeah, but I feel like specifically this one, because I understand the film is very much for me and probably not most other people.